From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Good evening, everyone. Definitely a very active day out there today. A lot of thunderstorms. There were flash flood warnings. There were special weather statements for exceptionally strong thunderstorms in the area. And it looks like we're going to continue to see some activity here into the evening hours before it starts to kind of break up overnight tonight. But then we're going to see more rain, the first push of moisture from Hillary coming in tomorrow, and then once again into your Monday as well. We'll get into that in a second here. Let's start with the fires. There's a lot to unpack here. We've got fires, we've got local rain, and of course we've got Hillary to talk about. Of course, you've been hearing about Hurricane Hillary down to the south here. We're going to talk a bit about that as well. First thing I want to mention as we talk about the fires, there are a lot of evacuation warnings, a lot of evacuation orders, and it keeps changing. It's a moving target. So during these recordings, I could tell you about all these evacuation watches and warnings, but then they'll change by the time you watch this. So here's what I encourage you to do. I want you to go to weathernorcal.com, go to the fire section, and then in there you can find, of course, from the watch duty section, you can tap on the fire that's closest to you. That will have all the evacuation warnings there right there for you. Tap, click on that particular fire, and that will have your evacuations in there. You can also scroll down a little bit further down the fire page on weathernorcal.com, and you'll see a section that once was, of course, Zone Haven. Now, of course, it's that Genesis, right? But bottom line, you can get that information from weathernorcal.com. I encourage you to go check that on a regular basis. All right, in the meantime, this is satellite detected activity and showing where the heat signatures are at these fires, and most of it has been and will be to the north and west as of right now, right? But what we're seeing here, these are all the different fire perimeters. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to zoom in to some of the particular larger ones, like for example, the Deep Fire in Trinity County. These are, by the way, this is just to give you a general idea of how close the outer edge of the fire perimeter is to these local communities. So for example, it's approximately 15 miles from Coffee Creek, 11.4 miles from Trinity Center, and about 6.7 miles from Covington Mill. Now the Deep Fire has grown over the last 24 hours, and it's actually grown a little bit closer to the Trinity Alps Resort at about 3.1 miles. Yesterday at this time, it was 4.1, so it has moved in a little bit closer. Meanwhile, here's Highway 299. You've got Weaverville, Junction City, and Helena. It's moved a little bit closer to all these areas as well, but basically it's over 10 miles away from these local areas. Let's take a look at the Smith River complex. So there are several different fires. Of course, you got a bigger one here and then these smaller ones. So you can see here, this one right here is about 6.4 miles from Gas Key. You can see the outer edge here coming into Hyuchi at about 10.6, 15.8 from Crescent City. Smith River, about 6.1 miles. All right, let's take you off to the east, and this fire has grown significantly as well. It was actually just to the south of Highway 199, and now, of course, it is now moved up northward and about to join forces with this fire as well. 1.2 miles now from Idlewild. Take you to the south, you've got the Bluff Complex. That's about 7.9 miles from Orleans. Now, there's another fire east of Orleans that is closer than this one, but as of right now, there is no available fire perimeter. So I can't give you the distance for that one that's east of Orleans, but as soon as that comes out, I will of course be sure to let you know, and you'll be able to kind of see the distance there. Here we have the Lone Pine Fire. This one has also grown a little bit, moved a little bit closer to Hoopa at 2.5 miles, 4.4 miles from Willow Creek. To the south, yeah, more fires. Here we go, right? The Pilot Fire, 5.5 miles from Hyampom, 12.4 from Mad River, and about 9.5 to Dinsmore. Now, there's another fire. This one's fairly new, the Lost Fire. This is getting closer to the coast. So you can see Johnson's right here, about 5.2 miles there. But here's, of course, Highway 101, right? You got Oric, you got Berry Glen. So about 2.8 miles from Berry Glen, 4.4 miles from Oric. You've got a camp resort here, another one down to the south of Oric as well. All right, now let's talk about the smoke. It's going to be there. But the smoke, we'll get a little bit of relief from it when the rain begins to move in tomorrow, and not to mention even into your Monday. But this is what the smoke forecast is looking at, just kind of basically staying in our general area. There's going to be a little bit trying to make its way down to the south and east, but overall, most of the smoke will be in the vicinity of where mainly the fires are. All right, so here's the deal. Let's kind of switch gears, break away from the fires now, and talk about the rain and Hurricane Hilary. Now, Hilary is going to bring rain and thunderstorms to the forecast come Sunday and Monday. You can see much cooler temperatures for next week, and I do expect finally less thunderstorm activity next week. Now, we still have it tomorrow. We still have it possibly Monday and maybe even into Tuesday. But after that, I think the thunderstorms will be gone for at least that time frame. So you can see some smoke, you can see some clouds, you can see some showers in the forecast here as we go into the next 12 hours or so. Temperatures will be cooler because of the added cloud cover and because of the rain. There you can see the Trinity County forecast, mid to upper 80s for those daytime highs, mainly cloudy skies, and looking at the showers throughout the day, and maybe, unfortunately, some isolated thunderstorms. So there's all that moisture coming in from Hilary. We're getting some of that kind of veering off to the west here, off into Northern California, giving some of us that we're already feeling the effects of that moisture here today. We'll feel it again tomorrow and, of course, on Monday as well. So let's take a look at Futurecast. This is what it looks like as we take you overnight tonight. It's dry. By tomorrow morning, we're starting to see some rain making its way into southern Humboldt County. Eureka, of course, Ferndale for the fair, may be a little wet on tomorrow morning and all the way down into southern Humboldt County. Then we can see another push of some showers as we go through the afternoon for the fair. So keep in mind, it may be a little cool and a little wet at times, but I don't expect any heavy downpours. So might actually not be a bad day to head out to the fair, actually. Crescent City, yeah, finally getting some rain there and some much needed rain on some of the fires as well. I'm only hoping that we don't see as much thunderstorm activity, and I don't anticipate as much thunderstorm activity, but we still can't rule out some lightning strikes for your Sunday. Now, Monday, this is going to be a bigger push of moisture coming in, and I'm anticipating more rain coming on in, but you can see here, there is the chance for some isolated thunderstorms popping up. We've got a line of some heavier rainfall. Flooding may be a concern here at some points of the day on Monday as well. So we're going to have to watch for the potential for flash flooding on Monday. But notice we're seeing that line kind of back itself and not really moving much farther to the west. So on Monday, I'm expecting actually dry conditions for Crescent City and Delnor County in general. By Monday night, it's gone. Now, as I mentioned, Tuesday, I think we're going to start to clear things out, but there's still going to be some leftover moisture from Hilary, and that could mean some more convective thunderstorms on Tuesday. We can't rule that chance out. I'm hoping I'll be able to take that out of the forecast as we get close to that time frame. But there is that first push of moisture coming in tomorrow, but watch what happens Monday. That's when we really start to see it. So there you can see a half an inch to over an inch for parts of the eastern mountains, and you can see less and less rainfall as you head west. So basically, it has everything to do with the track of the remnants of Tropical Storm Hilary or Hurricane Hilary. And if it moves a little bit more to the west, then we'll get heavier rainfall to the west. But if it moves a little bit more to the east, then we won't see as much rainfall that we're seeing here. So it all depends on the exact track. There's a look at Hilary. It was a Category 4 hurricane this morning. It has quickly lost a lot of its strength as it moves into the colder waters of the Pacific. So that is really some good news. Now, as it continues to trek northward, we're going to be hearing more of some wind damage, flooding type damage, not only for the Baja Peninsula, but for Southern California as well. It's still expected to be a tropical storm as it moves into Southern California and not to mention into Nevada as well. You're talking about gusty winds, 50, 60 miles per hour in Southern California alone. On top of that, you're talking about heavy rainfall, several inches of rain leading to flash flooding, leading to localized flooding, leading to mudslides and debris flows. And it's not just Southern California. That is going to be a concern here for the Baja Peninsula as well. So there's going to be a lot of damage that we're going to hear about for many areas for our neighbors to the south, including Mexico. There you can see the wave heights for us here as we go into your Sunday afternoon, between 9 and even upwards of 11 feet. So of course you've got the hazardous seas out there. There's going to be some patchy smoke. There you can see your low tide tomorrow morning at about 8:53 and your high tide tomorrow afternoon at about 3:39. All right, heading out to the Humboldt Fair. Well, it looks like it's going to be okay, actually. I mean, yes, we may see some showers, but shouldn't be that bad. It'll actually be kind of refreshing. Temperatures upper 60s on Sunday, mid 60s on Monday, and not to mention on Tuesday. Of course, the fair goes through all next week too, so Tuesday of next week should be dry with temperatures in the mid 60s. All right, so here's what we have in store for us tonight. The clouds are moving in, but I'm not anticipating really any of the rain to move in until tomorrow morning. That is after these thunderstorms that we see this evening kind of pass. Then for your Sunday, mostly cloudy skies, showers, maybe even some thunderstorms here for Trinity County, and maybe even a few thunderstorms off into the inland areas as well. Otherwise, just looking at some showers off and on through the day on Sunday, even for the coast. So here's your 7-day outlook. So for Crescent City, showers on Sunday. Monday, I'm keeping it dry, and then dry after that. Temperatures mid-60s on average. Hoopa, Weaverville, chances for showers. We're looking at showers and thunderstorms for your Sunday, and a very good chance on Monday. But then on Tuesday, there may be some leftover moisture. But for the most part, I think we're going to start to dry things out, especially by the middle of next week. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook for Eureka. You've got the showers for your Sunday, more showers possibly on Monday, and then Tuesday it dries out, and we keep it dry through the rest of next week and even into that next weekend.